Hello everybody, hello, hope you're all doing well, welcome back to the channel. Yes, welcome back. We have got 3 more Eurovision semi-final 2 songs to talk about tonight from Eurovision 2021. Hope you're all doing well, whether you're watching live. If you are, hello. Live chat is there, come say hi, let me know. Inevitably, if we have another technical fault, because that seems to be my speciality at the moment. Yeah, that's been fun dealing with. If you're watching this back, hello, let me know all your thoughts down in the comments below. I hope you're doing well. Make certain to like, subscribe, share, do all the good things that you can. Yes, hope everybody is having a good Wednesday, or whatever day it is that you're watching this, or evening, morning, night, whatever time. If you are up at 3 a.m. and you're watching this, why? But thank you for doing so if you are. Yeah. We are, like I said, we're going to talk Latvia, Denmark and Greece. So if you are watching live, let me know all your thoughts about those songs over in the chat and we can have a conversation as and when we get to them. And yeah, let us get underway. So obviously, let's start with Greece. Why don't we start with Greece? They're always fun. So Greece are sending Stefania once again. She was their 2020 representative. She is their 2021 representative. And yeah, she is back. Now she is singing Last Dance instead of Supergirl. And right off the bat, I want to say, I really want to know who is in charge of the production of Stefania's music videos, because they are like crazy in like a really just like cool kind of weird way, it feels like. A lot of like, you know, the Supergirl music video was, you know, an interesting concept and it worked with the song. Last Dance, you know, like water world, like apocalypse, future world, that whole thing is very strange. And I kind of like it, but I can't imagine that that's going to be what we see on stage in Rotterdam, is what I'll say about that. It'd be interesting if they can make Waterworld happen, but hey, maybe they'll just steal what Demi had going for her in 2017. So obviously Last Dance, I think I prefer it as a song to Supergirl. Supergirl felt very much like kind of the bridging the gap between Stefania obviously did Junior Eurovision. We've got another JESC representative in the house, which is great to see. Obviously we have Destiny and I don't think there's any others this year. Maybe? I'm pretty certain that there aren't. I'm having a thought about Serbia then, but I don't think so. Yeah. So yeah, great to see JESC representation, but I feel like Supergirl was very like young and it was very like just young girl kind of that bridging the gap, almost not JoJo Siwa-esque, like it's a bit more adult than that, but there was something where it felt like she hadn't evolved into a full pop star yet. And I feel like Last Dance really gets into, it's very clever, it gets into the, you know, that 80s trend that we're hearing a lot. It's in that vibe of like a future nostalgia, Dua Lipa. It's kind of got those touches to it, which I think really helps. It really works. Just make it feel a bit more adult. And it makes me more excited about the song and about Stefania generally. Obviously, she can sing. And I think that she will... We've yet to really see her at full force live in terms of performing these songs. I think one thing that I always think of with Greek artists and entries and their performances before they go live at Rotterdam is you always have to take it with a bit of a pinch of salt, because there usually is a bit of playback and they don't really... There's things going on with those live performances. So I really just want to see this like in full force on stage. And hopefully, there's some really good points in there. I think that it's kind of been overlooked a little bit. It came out sort of in that big rush of songs towards like the last week or so, when everybody was releasing songs. And I feel like this one kind of just like fell by the wayside a little. It doesn't seem to have been as hyped as some of the other like female pop acts. You know, you've obviously got Malta as the favourite. But then, you know, I think that Last Dance as a song and as potentially an act, we have to see. But I think as a song, it's definitely better than Moldova. I think it's sort of... I don't think it quite hits the level of maybe a Cyprus, which feels like a more polished song, but I think that this is maybe more contemporary than Cyprus in some ways. And obviously you're always going to naturally, in a way, compare Greece and Cyprus. I think it is interesting as well. It's something that I didn't really touch on before, and I couldn't really touch on it last year because I wasn't doing videos. But I do think it's interesting how Cyprus seemed to be taking like the big name Greek acts, or like really trying to get, they had Eleni Ferreira, they had Tamta, Eleni Zagrinou, I think is a pretty, like, she's a known name. Whereas, Sandro, I suppose, is a bit of an outlier. But Stefania, I don't think is like a big name in the Greek music scene, really, at the moment. Maybe this is meant to be the launch for her. But I just think it's weird that Greece were the powerhouse for so many years and constantly in the top 5 in the, in the noughties, really, all the way through. And then now it seems to have flipped a little bit, and Cyprus are the ones that everybody seems to be hyped about. And I don't know whether it's record deals. Obviously, Panic are more involved with Cyprus, so who knows what's going on there. But I think it's an interesting, like, weird mix. But I think it's great. I'm really glad that Greece are going with slightly different artists, that they're trying something else out. And I really hope that Stefania does well. I can definitely see this qualifying. Like I said, I think it is a quality song that jurors will like, and I think that the televote will probably like it. There's just a lot of like nice things going for it, is what I would say. And it not nice in the it's just nice. I think that there will be an audience for this. Probably, maybe a slightly younger female audience that's watching. That feels almost like it's stereotyping it a little, but if you think about like the Dua Lipa and people like that are going for that feels also like the audience they go for a little bit. So yeah, that and the gays, especially with Dua Lipa. But yeah, I think Last Dance, very strong entry. I wouldn't call it like one of my absolute favourites right now, but I definitely like it. Like, I will listen to it when it comes on. It hasn't found its way into my playlist yet. Maybe it will. But yeah, there's some nice elements going on there, and hopefully Greece can really keep on building on that. So let us go over and have a look at some of the comments. Obviously, let me know in the live chat what your thoughts are on Greece. If you are watching back, let me know down in the comments as well all of your thoughts about Greece. I know Greek Eurovision fans, you are a passionate bunch. So yeah, obviously, let me know what your thoughts are. Do you think which one do you think is better at the moment, Greece or Cyprus? To be that person and make the comparison. Let us have a look over. So yeah, Milosh makes a point actually straight away. There wasn't a top 10 entry from Greece since 2014, and for years Greece were the ones where it was like, well, Greece are always going to qualify, and that was never in doubt. And now 2016 they didn't qualify with Utopian Land, Argo, was that their name? And then Yana Tertsi with Anira Mu, which wasn't a surprise when you looked at the staging and the fact she was in the most difficult semi-final, but I still like the song. I think the song is very worthy. And Greece 2019 was Better Love, which I think everybody kind of expected would do better than it did. And again, I don't know whether the staging maybe didn't help with that. They had a rough ride 2018, 2019. 2017 was kind of out of their hands, apparently. Demi's like original plan wasn't feasible with what Kiev could do. So yeah, Greece have lost their way a little bit. Maria Elena Kyriakou obviously was also, that was fine, nothing too special, but I like One Last Breath. And apart from Better Love, which was nice, yes, Better Love was, I liked Better Love. I like it a lot more in the music video of Better Love. Kind of gave me like almost a bit Imogen Heapy, kind of maybe Regina Spektor-y. Like, I was expecting something a bit quirkier. And we got quirky, but maybe not in the right way in 2019. Sol says, I think Greece's music video is based on Greek mythology, which is true. But I feel like it doesn't lean... Nothing else about it leans into that mythology kind of aspect for it. That I can really tell. So, it's a bit of an odd, like, mishmash, but hey, your music video doesn't always have to be about what your song is at the end of the day. It's an artistic choice. I just don't quite know how that's going to work out on stage, because usually you can get a vibe sometimes from music video to performance. Sometimes people go completely differently, though. And I imagine this might be one of those. And Callan says, I think it's the first Eurovision song where I'm too old to be the target audience for. Yeah, it's definitely, it's aiming younger, is what I would say. But I think it's not aiming too young, which I think Supergirl was a little bit. I don't think Supergirl... I would have questioned whether Supergirl would have made it. Semi-final 2 is, in a way, it's the weaker semi-final, as we kind of keep saying. Just because semi-final 1 is so stacked. So I feel like it always had a shot. Obviously, I'm 99% certain Cyprus is in semi-final 1. Let us do some live Googling. One of these days, I will remember where everybody is. There's some that I know off the top of my head, but apparently, I cannot remember. Cyprus is semi-final 1 because it's in the banger section of semi-final 1, of course. And I think Supergirl was drawn to open the semi-final last time. I don't think Last Dance will be. I think it might be Sugar, looking at how it all works out now, or maybe Serbia or San Marino. We'll see. I think Last Dance is a bit safer. It might be towards the latter half of the first half of semi-final 2. That's a lot of halves to be saying. Anyway, let me keep letting me know what your thoughts are about Greece. I think to keep it in the 80s mindset, we will move quickly over to Denmark. So it's Fyr og Flamme, and they are singing Over og på hinanden, I think is how you say it, but quicker and with less stumbling over your Danish pronunciation in dialectics. Yeah, I think, obviously, this is very 80s too, from the styling to the sound. I don't think that they've quite got the same vibe as Stefania has, where Stefania kind of feels like it's tapped into the 80s throwback trend. This is just an 80s throwback, which is, it's upfront about it, and they know what they're doing with it. And I think that there is potentially an audience for that as well. I think a slightly older audience might hear this and think, oh, to me it reminds me of not like the best Duran Duran songs or the best Spandau Ballet songs or people like that. It kind of feels like it fits into that mold though, and it's a nice throwback. That's the main thing. And again, it's nice, but it will have its audience, and those people that really do like this, I think, might vote for it. We've seen before Mikael Spack, very different song, but that was kind of like a throwback where it got an audience that wasn't your typical Eurovision fan, which is why we were all so blindsided when it came third on the televote. And I think Colour of Your Life was a bit more accessible because it was in English. Obviously, Denmark are sending a song in Danish, which is great. First time since 97, I believe. 97 and 98. And I think the 97 song was interesting, to say the least. That was the weird telephone song, because that was a novelty apparently in 1997, calling in things. I don't really know. I was too young. I was 6. First Eurovision though. Anyway, yeah, I really like that they're singing a song in Danish. I just worry that makes it slightly less accessible to a wider audience, but they're obviously having fun with the entry. I'm going to come straight out and say I'm not a big fan of it. And I will also say, because I feel like I got a bit of a reputation at my old job for being a bit of a Denmark negativity person. I really like Leonora, and that grew on me quite a lot when we got to Tel Aviv. But, 2018... Denmark 2018. What was Denmark 2018? That really says it all, unfortunately. Oh, Rasmussen, who also grew on me, actually, just saying that. Rasmussen grew on me by the time we got to Lisbon. But, Anja Nielsen was a lot. And Lighthouse X and Anti-Social Media, they were all... Denmark have played it safe for a very long time, and I feel like they've taken a step out of the comfort zone by sending a song in Danish. I would much rather have had Storlig Hair, which was in DMGP, and was, I think, much more kind of getting that, the synthy trend. I really, really like that song. Definitely one of my favourites of the national final season, I will say. And yeah, I really I wish that had made it. And yeah, so it's not one of my favourites, I think is where I've lost my train of thought a little. It's not one of my favourites, but I can see how this might keep on growing on me. And the more I've listened to it, the more it has grown on me. Denmark could have made worse choices as well in DMGP this year, is also another thing I will say. So yeah, that it's got some nice touches to it. I would say Ben and Tan, I put a bet on Ben and Tan winning Eurovision 2020. And I realise that I'm probably very much in the minority of that. But yes, I genuinely thought that yes could have won Eurovision 2020. And it would have been a very much a long shot. But you look at some of the review shows and things like that, they were ranking quite highly. I think they came like 3rd or 4th in like the German non-official televote. And I think that, it had a charm to it. It really had a charm to it. I'm really sad that Ironheart didn't get to go, their entry for 2021. I think that was a very odd decision, because I think it probably was better than anything other than, in my opinion, Storlig Hair. And yeah, I think that there weren't any other like male-female double acts, I think, in 2020 from memory. And I think it had just like the right kind of vibe where I could have seen it doing a Running Scared almost, or at least doing a lot better than a lot of people thought it would. I had it down as almost a top 5 lock, and it was stuck in my head for ages and ages, because it's a very simple, just catchy, uplifting, anthemic message. So yeah, I'm all in all to say, I really like Denmark 2020, so I don't hate Denmark, so please don't think that I do. And yeah, I appreciate Fyr og Flamme for what they're doing. It's just not one that I'm immediately hooked by, and it is taking me a few more listens to get to the point where I can say, I like this. It's not at the bottom of my ranking, but it's not going much higher than mid-pack. Will it qualify? Again, I think that it has the right potential to qualify. It has an audience there, and it has got that complete 80s throwback that some people will appreciate. I just worry how accessible it will be. And that's like, I am the person that will say, please send your song in your native language, because I think it makes it so much more interesting. So it's a double-edged sword. Like, I want them to send a song in native language, but also I'm aware that can harm your chances with certain types of song. And I feel like because it's such a throwback, because it's going for that, I just wonder whether that would have helped it. But I am very glad, no matter what, that they're sending it in Danish. I just think that, yeah, it could be a potential issue for it. But maybe some people might really appreciate that. You don't need to know what they're singing to get the vibe that they're going for. And that, I think, is a selling point. So yeah, that's sort of a kind of like mishmash muddled review of Denmark. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are about Denmark. Do you like it? What do you think about, is it better in Danish? Do you think maybe it would have been better in English? Let me know all of your thoughts about those down in the comments or over in the live chat. And very quickly, we will move on to Latvia shortly after we go through some comments. So again, let me know what your thoughts are over in the chat about Latvia, and we can get ready to talk about Samanta Tina. A lot of people saying, so yeah, Denmark is my guilty pleasure of the year. I treat this as a joke entry though. That was Milosh. Stephanie says, don't like the song, but they have my deepest respect for singing in their own language. And Chris saying, Denmark need to get back to being like Norway. Denmark seem to just qualify while Norway will mostly challenge top 5-10. And Milosh thinks it won't qualify. So yeah, I think, I see a lot of people saying this is my guilty pleasure. I'm seeing a lot of people having it in like their top 3 or 5 though. Like people being like, oh, you're not going to believe it, but I've got Denmark in my top 5. And it feels, I don't know, that almost gives me a bit of a Mikael Schwach vibe as well, where people almost seem to not want to admit that they kind of liked the song. And yeah, I feel like as Eurovision fans, we look at a country's track record quite deeply. Like, we look at Norway, and Norway are pushing a lot more now. They had, a slight blip at one point, and now they're really going for it again. Whereas Denmark, I feel like, have been almost happy to play it safe since Emily de Forest. And this is a bit of it's not safe, but yeah, I feel like that guilty pleasure thing keeps on coming up. So it'll be interesting to see. Maybe people, if it's your guilty pleasure, it means that you really do like it, and you almost might want to rank it higher, but you don't want to admit that out in public. But if you're going to vote for it, then you're going to vote for it. So let's wait and see. I do think that there's this one could spring a surprise in a little way. I also, it's very much got that. It's the same thing, I think, with Gendrick for Germany. I think that is one where it's probably a guilty pleasure for some people, and who knows, maybe the public will really like it. It's a potential. It is a potential. Good news is that I appear to have not lost audio, and I appear to have not lost my webcam yet this evening, which is better than we've been going for the last few streams. Thank you to everybody. I mentioned as well in a stream the other day that I was having a very minor procedure on over the weekend, and thank you to a couple of people who did message me and say, I hope you're doing well, and I am. It is all good. I'm doing fine. My back is not wounded anymore. Well, it is, but it's fine. Anyway, Holovoir. I don't quite know how to pronounce that, but it does have guilty pleasure potential and stands out. I don't know if that audience is really large enough. Again, that is very much a thing. We saw, I think with Mikael Szpak, there obviously was an amount of Polish diaspora vote there. We don't know how much, because Poland haven't always been able to rely on that since then, but I think that may have helped him along a little bit. And Crystal says, I like this. I think the staging at DMGP was also very uninspiring. They need very good staging in order to keep attention. I would say that all of the staging at Dansk Melodi Grand Prix this year was a bit uninspiring. They had a massive stage and nobody really seemed to know what they could do with it. Maybe they could do with some dancers or just something else, just to really play up. Again, I really want them to play up that 80s vibe, like where they've got the clapping, whether they can do something with dancers like that and just play something up there. Just to help elevate it. But yeah, I don't think that anybody's staging helped them at Dansk Melodi Grand Prix, and I don't think that having the live music really helped some songs either. It was just a very odd show, and it was also on, I think, was it the night of Melfest, or Andres Chanson and a few other ones were on at the same time, San Remo, I think. So yeah, there was a lot going on that night, and I don't think that a lot of people are just sort of like, there's no need to watch or listen to Denmark, which is a shame, because I do think that there was at least one good song in that selection that probably should have done better. Anyway, let us move on to Latvia. Samanta Tina finally gets to go to Eurovision. Obviously, she was meant to be sent last year with Still Breathing. She's back with The Moon is Rising, and it's all about that female empowerment and just going for it and just really shouting about it, which is a great message, obviously, especially at the moment, looking at what's happening in the UK and just generally around the world. Like, it's not a UK problem. But obviously, recent events. I think it's such a great message. And I think that she's been so bold and brash and loud about it that it's great to see that. And it comes across in the music video. I love that she's showing so much diversity in the music video as well. That's a really another great thing to see. I think Still Breathing was better as a song, and almost just the entire presentation so far feels a little bit of The Moon is Rising. Other than like they hit some really good points there, I just don't think that it's as... It feels like everything was put into Still Breathing, and a lot of the creative ideas were put there. And I feel like The Moon is Rising has some of that, but it just doesn't feel as powerful or as like grabbing or catching. It doesn't have that moment. Everybody sort of loved Still Breathing because of the I am a composer bit, or the spraying of the like disinfectant and the visors. It had a lot of visual cues, whereas Moon is Rising feels like it's a really great song that will come on in a club, and it'll be one that you'll want to dance with your mates, and they've got the dance moves and like the dance crew, but I don't know, it doesn't have that like visually grabbing moment right now. And that also comes true a little bit in the live performance that we've had a bit, where again it all just feels a little subdued. Like, it's got some really heavy music and the vibe is there, but I feel like the performance is just a little bit underwhelming. And I really don't want to say that, because I like the song, and obviously, like, Samanta Tina is a queen of Eurovision. Like, I think her first, I'm 99% certain the first, like, year I started watching national finals was the first time she started trying. So I feel like I have followed her on this journey through Latvia, through Lithuania, through probably so many other attempts here, there, and everywhere. Maybe she tried for one in 360, who knows? Like Supernova, when she's tried Supernova with 2 songs and she's disqualified herself, and like the journey she has been on, and you just want her, inherently as a Eurovision fan, you want her to do well. So again, like, I like the song, I love the vibe that she's going for, I want to see like the full picture come across, and I don't really see it right now in how they're presenting it in aspects of the video and the staging so far. Now, granted, I think it was like a Latvian award show or like a music show or whatever that was where she did the live version. You're not going to give the game away fully, I don't think. And she's not going to, she's going to have a lot more to play with in Rotterdam, but she'll have less dancers and less of a crew behind her. So I hope that they're being clever with it and they're not giving the game away too much early on, because I think with so many big female pop songs going on in semi-final 2, and Latvia aren't necessarily a country that get a lot of natural support, there's a risk here. Now, they will have Estonia, who might be able to give them some points. They won't have Lithuania. So, there's a little bit in their favour, but I just think that in terms of overall package, I'm expecting more from the likes of Serbia and Moldova and San Marino and Greece. And you just suddenly see where Still Breathing had such a big visual point of an idea. It doesn't feel like it's coming across as much right now with Moon is Rising. I think she is great. Like, that is the main thing. I think, I'm just having a look. Like, granted, she is in the second half of semi-final 2. Like, other than Victoria and Albania, who aren't really going for that same sound. Like, obviously, Victoria is very stripped back, and Albania is dramatic in a different way. So maybe that'll help Moon is Rising. If they put it on last, maybe. Although I think she was meant to be last in semi-final 2 last year. So whether they'll do it again. There's so much we don't know, like, with running orders, which I assume will be coming out relatively soon. I guess they're waiting to decide what happens with Belarus, maybe. But, yeah, I think she has Samanta Tina has enough redeeming qualities and has enough star power kind of grown around her now, and the confidence to be able to just go out on stage and deliver it. So I hope that does come across well with the juries. Again, because it's so brash, I think an older juror member might not appreciate this as much. I just don't see it. Unfortunately, I think a lot of people, again, are going to like this, but that's where I don't necessarily see where the audience is for this right now, unfortunately. It feels like it's fighting a lot of other people, so it's going to start splitting points here and there, whereas some of these other acts that might have a more, like, pointed tone of voice and view of who they're going to be able to appeal to, they might start getting more of those, and I just worry a little bit, because I really, really want Latvia in the final. Again, Latvia, a country where I feel they were having such a great period in 2015, 2016. I love Line, Triana Park, 2017, and the fact that it finished last still baffles me a little bit. And then since then, it's sort of tumbled a little bit and they lost their way. Obviously, Aminata is involved with, she was involved with Still Breathing, she's involved again now. So I don't know. I just hope that it elevates a little bit, because that's my concern is that it's one of the ones I'm most concerned about as a fan of the artist. Because I do think that the song has its really good qualities, and I like some of the things that they're going with the music video and what they're trying to say. That she is the queen, so just let's make Samanta the queen she deserves to be on the Eurovision stage, I guess. So yeah, I think let's wait and see. Let's see what happens with rehearsals. Let's see what some of the things that are coming out of Latvia are. But I worry about it more than I did Still Breathing. And I worried about Still Breathing just because, again, it's Latvia. They don't have a lot of natural vote pulling power. And it is, one way or another, Still Breathing was divisive, and I feel like this one is too. But I think that Eurovision fans might love this a bit more than the general public will, unfortunately. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are on Latvia, Moon is Rising. Do you think the moon is rising, or do you think the sun is setting on Samanta Tina's Eurovision Dreams and Hopes? There we go, got one in. Okay, let's have a look. Miller says, I am disappointed in it by The Moon is Rising. I was a fan of Still Breathing. It's a bit irritating and messy. Callum says it's a bit of a downgrade. And Crystal said, yeah, I don't think it'll qualify. Ordinary viewers will not get it. Holovois says stage presence can really push an entry up. And yeah, I agree. I think it is going to be about Samantha's stage presence really lifting this. I will say that I do think Still Breathing went up and down. It took you on a roller coaster almost. Moon is Rising is very... It doesn't feel like it takes you on as much of a roller coaster. It has a peak and then it just sort of just plateaus a little bit. I don't think it's almost a bit like Matahari, but I think that Matahari has a little bit more to it right now. Matahari is very repetitive. I don't think Moon is Rising is repetitive. I just don't think that it has as much action in those off moments where it is just the vibe of and the sound is coming through. So yeah, that's a potential issue I think for Latvia. It's just how do they fill those bits, because the dancing and the swaying that they've got going kind of in the stage performances we've seen so far in the music video, that doesn't really sell at Eurovision. You tend to need a lot more choreography than that at Eurovision to do well, or not have choreography or tell a journey through your staging. I just don't know whether or not they can do that with what we've seen so far. Again though, let's wait and see. Samanta may have something crazy up her sleeve. Depends what she's wearing as well, because she has two very different outfits, and we've seen her wear some very odd things before at Eurovision national finals, so maybe she's going to go all out and she's been holding it back for Rotterdam. So yeah, that is Greece, Denmark, Latvia. We are nearly at the end of all the songs of 2021. I think it's... who have I still got left to do? Let's have a quick check through. So we've got Poland, we have Austria, I think there is North Macedonia as well, now that is fully confirmed. I think that's everybody. There might be one or two others that I'm missing, but yeah, we'll get to those relatively soon. As I have said before, obviously, well, first of all, thank you very much for watching. If you have, make certain to like, comment, subscribe, share, do all the good things, hit the notification bell, all of that kind of stuff that every YouTuber asks you to do, and I am asking you from the goodness of my heart. I'm going to do a stream on Sunday. Not certain what time. I need to work it out because I need to schedule it around the F1 because I am one of those people. But yeah, Sunday, big 30th birthday celebration. Yay. So yeah, come celebrate me getting another year older and another lockdown birthday, because what else am I going to do? So yeah, I'm going to do a live stream. I'm going to rank all the songs of the year so far, and do the sorter and talk about press room stuff and just ask me any questions you want, really. And yeah, let's have some fun and have a couple of drinks and just enjoy. Yeah. So anyway, that's what we'll look forward to. I'll schedule that, put things out about that. Obviously, let me know what your thoughts are on the 3 entries. Any entry, let me know you down in the comments. And just keep safe again. I know things are getting a bit crazy again with this whole situation. Stay safe, look after yourselves, look after the people around you, be good. Remember, it's just a song contest. We all have our own opinions. Let's respect everybody's opinions. And yeah, just have fun. And I will see you all soon. I will see you on Sunday. Catch you later, guys. Bye.